I let my entitled stepmother plan my wedding after she complained I was excluding her, and what she did made me cancel everything. Cordelia had been my dad's wife for 2 years when I got engaged to Bryant. She'd been fine at first, distant, but polite. Then I announced my engagement, and suddenly she wanted to be mother of the bride. The problem was, I already had a mother, a wonderful one who'd been dreaming about this day since I was little. I just want to help, Cordelia said over Sunday dinner. You're both so busy with work. Let me handle the vendors. Dad beamed at her. See, she just wants to be involved. My mom's face fell, but she stayed quiet. She always did when Cordelia was around, trying to keep the peace. I should have said no right then. Instead, I agreed to let Cordelia coordinate the flowers and decorations. Seemed harmless enough. That's when things started going wrong. My dress fittings kept getting rescheduled without my knowledge. The seamstress apologized, saying someone named Cordelia had called to push them back. When I finally made it in, they'd altered measurements I hadn't approved. Your stepmother said you wanted it tighter in the waist, the seamstress explained. The venue kept calling about menu changes. Cordelia had switched my carefully chosen dinner to an all-vegan spread. I'm not vegan. Neither is Bryant or 90% of our guest list. She said you were going plant-based for the wedding, the caterer said, confused when I called to fix it. My florist contacted me in a panic. Cordelia had changed my order from soft pastels to bright red roses, her favorite. When I confronted her, she smiled sweetly. Red is so much more dramatic for photos, sweetie. Trust me. I started documenting everything. Screenshots of emails where she'd impersonated me, recorded calls where vendors confirmed she'd made changes using my name. Bryant wanted me to uninvite her entirely, but Dad would never forgive me. 2 weeks before the wedding, my mother called crying. Cordelia had contacted the photographer and uninvited her from all family portraits. She told them I was being difficult, Mom sobbed, that I was making the day about me instead of you. I'd reached my limit. I called an emergency meeting with Cordelia, Dad, Mom, and Bryant. I laid out every piece of evidence, the unauthorized changes, the forged emails, the attempts to exclude my actual mother. Cordelia's face went white, then red. I was just trying to make everything perfect, she stammered. You have no taste. Someone needed to fix your tacky choices. Dad tried to defend her, but Bryant cut him off. She's been sabotaging our wedding for months. Look at the evidence. I thought that would be the end of it. Cordelia apologized. Dad promised she'd stay out of it. We'd fixed most of the vendor issues. The wedding was back on track. Then, 3 days before the ceremony, I got a call from our venue. We need to confirm the cancellation, the manager said. My blood went cold. What cancellation? Your stepmother called yesterday and canceled the entire event. She said there was a family emergency and you'd be rescheduling. I felt sick. Bryant rushed to the venue with me. We begged them to honor our original contract. They showed us the cancellation form, signed with a digital version of my signature that Cordelia must have created from previous emails. We called every vendor. Same story. Cordelia had systematically canceled everything. Flowers, catering, photographer, DJ, officiant. All gone. When we confronted her, she smiled. I told you that you weren't ready to get married. Maybe now you'll listen to people who know better. Dad just stood there, speechless. We spent the next 48 hours trying to salvage anything, but it was impossible. Everything was gone. We had to postpone indefinitely. That night, while going through Cordelia's digital trail for a potential lawsuit, Bryant found something that made my hands shake. Hidden in one of her email threads was a message to someone named Montgomery. In it, she detailed her entire sabotage plan. But that wasn't the worst part. The message ended with, "Don't worry, once this wedding is destroyed and they break up, she'll be vulnerable enough. Then we can move forward with our plans for the trust fund." I couldn't fit what happens next in this short video. Watch the rest down below.